Greetings, my fellow travelers. We're at Casa de Esteban Peral, and while the changes have been, I suppose, minor in scope, hopefully they'll have some sort of lasting impact. And I take those words back. I've replaced the biodomes with a couple of animal feeders in the hope of luring all these critters that are between where it used to be the storage vaults and the landing pad, well, out of that area and over there. Hasn't entirely worked out. The storage containers, or the vaults as I like to call them, have been replaced by planters, or nip buds each. It's 20. Might be a little bit slower going than the biodomes, but since I am working in creative/custom mode and don't need resources, it's pretty much a non-issue. So, farmer's office when I have one, mechanic's office for the exocraft when I have one. Nothing's changed in here, although this guy seems to be acting the way he's supposed to at the waypoint. Last few times I was here, it wasn't operating. Now, it has occurred to me that with the work that was being done on water/worlds, that might account for the problems I was having at the other location, Pyramid Alpha, where the coast was moving back and forth because, well, the end result was everything moved ever so slightly. In some cases, the ground about a foot down in the settlement. Other cases, buildings having completely relocated in the settlement. So that might account for the weirdness the last couple of weeks where things were moving around unexpectedly. Having said that, I think it's the second week of the expedition, and I haven't experienced any rendition problems in non-expedition gameplay. That's include both the PlayStation 4 and its version of the game, and the PlayStation 5 and its version of the game. Although, if anyone at Hell Games ever watches this video, please get rid of the frigging toxic plants on Paradise Worlds and near Paradise Worlds. Alright, so ground floor has seen a certain amount of change. Oh. Now, in retrospect, I did them half size. Maybe should have done it a little bit smaller, because smaller, they seem to want to saddle up close together and stack on top of each other, and also it was about a third as opposed to half the size. It probably would have been able to fit the other row on top, because if I tried moving them too close, they wanted to merge, and when they tried to merge, they ballooned up, so that didn't quite work out. Kitchen yet remains to be done. It'll be very metallic, go well with the storage containers. Small dining alcove separated with a I'm tempted to say 3/4 size standing planter. The previous base cache, oh dear me, large refiner and antimatter reactor are all half-sized. Well, I figured I had some success with it. Just used the crate and kept on going. No change in here, nor here. They're part of the original layout, and not inclined to remove them, despite the fact that there's a large refiner down there. No change to the bathroom. No change to the other half of the bathroom. Bedroom. This guy might have been moved back a little bit further. Minor, but again, I suppose important changes. A galactic trade terminal Now this whole section is raised up by one short wall, and it's intriguing that it does not center in the overall wall or position itself at the height that the terminal would normally be. No, it insists on positioning itself at the center of the wall. And no, you cannot put it on a short wall, probably because the larger framework piece is larger than a small wall. I've replaced the Fort Nip Nip with graviton balls, and for the sake of appearance added a couple of solar panels. I suppose I could have added 2 more right there. Now this part shows the greatest difference. I've added the second row of storage containers. They're all empty, so I'm getting robbed. Small parapet to protect them from the rain, and of course, since it's 1 per small floor panel surface, I had to expand this outwards 1 small floor panel. And this one, the short wall, was just blinking out. It was fuzzy. It made no sense. I just removed it. And yeah, I planted 1 tree. Sorry about that, folks. The only tree I have. And that was more or less where the other one was. So if you recall from the previous video, there was a walkway going by this tree, and more or less colliding right into that one. And that section between those 2 trees, there was a small residential area. Fortunately, trees weren't there when it was built, and following the world updates or reset, poof, trees in the middle of the building. And that's what we're at. So yes, and it just occurred to me to not sell the stones if I'm going to do the expedition, because, well, clearly that will be helpful. And that's it, folks. Cheers.